Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello. See. Yeah, it's coming through there, but not through the desk. Same with, same with 7 isn't coming through either. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. No, you guys stay here.
Sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Peter Govan and I'm the Head Teacher Administration here at Crestwood High School. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the Year-12 graduation ceremony for 2020. This year, with the impact of COVID-19, there continues to be changes to many planned events, graduation being one of them. We're delighted that this event can proceed and that it can be live streamed for parents and family to join us in the celebration. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you enjoy what we have planned. Our chairpersons tonight are our 2020 school captains, Adi Sundaram and Andrew Phelps. All appearances on stage, including musical performances, are by our current Year 12 students. Could you please be upstanding for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem, sung by Georgia Sultana from Year 12. Students, please be reminded this is an occasion you are asked to listen to the national anthem only and not to sing. Thank you, Georgia. Can I ask Jake Christian to the stage to deliver the acknowledgement of country? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jake Christian, and I'm the Vice Captain of the Student Leadership Team for 2020. As a proud Wiradjuri man, I acknowledge that we stand on the ancestral lands of the Darug people. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land whose cultures are among the oldest living in human history, and to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture, and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples across this nation. I welcome you all to this afternoon's Year 12 graduation.
Thank you, Jake. Hello, my name is Adi Sundaram, and this is Andrew Phelps. We are your current school captains for 2020.
Good afternoon, students, teachers, parents, and friends. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you all for joining. Adi, where is everyone?
You see that camera right there? Our parents are live streaming this from home. Have you been living under a rock lately?
So you're saying that, or for all I know, my parents are lying on the couch at the moment, eating afternoon tea, while we're all crammed in here like sardines? Geez, living the dream.
I know, right? For those of you just tuning in, welcome. We hope you guys have read the protocol for today's proceedings. You must be wearing your uniform under those gowns. And unfortunately, Stefan, that means you need to take off your jacket. On the bright side, this is the last time you'll ever have to wear your socks over those ankles. By the way, this was all in the notice that was sent out last week, unless it got lost among the dozen of Mrs. Fisher emails.
You see, life is full of endings, though our time here feels endless, just like English double periods, waiting for the projector to scroll down, or waiting in line for the 8624 bus.
Please welcome Tanya Wright for the Deputy Principal's report.
I guess our graduation won't be ending early either. At one point or another, we come to realize that all these endings come with new beginnings, and with new opportunities to embrace and discover that life is full of unpredictable possibilities, like actually being friends with our teachers, rather than the reason that they drink on a Friday night.
Just like everybody anticipated, time flew by, and Max's beard just kept growing. Our relationships have also grown into something truly beautiful, and we are incredibly proud of how far we have made it as a really connected cohort. Thinking back to the last 6 years of schooling, we have learned many valuable lessons. In history, the definition of a primary source as an artifact or experience from the time and place has been engraved into our brains. And in PE, we learned that you should never give an unconscious person tea. We have also experienced our fair share of embarrassing moments, from capsizing at Year 9 camp to singing Jar of Hearts at G&T Day. We have been through it all.
We started off the year hopeful, thinking surely if we could survive Duke of Ed, we can get through the HSC, but we were falsely misguided. Even though our 2020 vision was not as clear as we predicted, we picked ourselves up, took initiative, and went to Specsavers. We even got to wear sweatpants on Monday and pink on Wednesdays on our Zooms, regardless of what Mrs. Hourigan says about no mufti. Now I call that a win-win situation. That is to say, we could not have done this without the support of our beautiful teachers, who went out of their way to make sure that this year was the best year, despite any hiccups. Speaking of how good was the amazing race on Tuesday, shout out to Mrs. Finari for that. Speaking of Artie, who won again? I'm not quite sure actually. We'd also like to thank our top-notch year advisors, Mr. Bennett and Mrs. Lancet, for always encouraging us to be the best version of ourselves. We are so grateful for you both, and we are indebted to your kindness and could not have asked for a more divine duo.
So much has changed during this journey of ours. For instance, being able to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious was one thing in primary school, but nailing Manjubashini Chandrasekhar Sarma was a whole nother level. It was also interesting to watch Jessica Parker transition through a rainbow of hair colours. Girls, for once discovering the correct tone of self-tanners, and finally being able to tell Robert and Danny apart. Sorry, Nathan and Nicholas, we are still getting there. It was also interesting, but the most memorable transformation would no doubt be that of John Kim into the ultimate rap god. Yeah. While the formal is coming up and we begin to watch our figure, I urge you to look at how we have believed, perceived, and achieved our goals of being the most attractive cohort at Crestwood. I don't think anyone has ever pulled off a mullet like the boys at Year 11 camp. All in all, we should be proud of our Year 10 selves, as we have managed to achieve the highest percentage of negative incidences in the school.
These last 6 years have been so memorable, and we're about to enter another awesome phase of our lives. Many of us don't know what that entails, but we do know Pythagoras' theorem, so that should get us somewhere, right? As William Shakespeare and Channing Tatum said, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrusted upon them. The unmatched achievements of Jaden Duncombe, representing the country in athletics, Neve Sanday finishing a cross-country carnival in Year 9 with a broken ankle, and most impressively, Jackson Dawkins scoring first in both teacher versus student soccer games. Our grade has certainly proven its capability of overcoming and achieving anything and everything to leave a lasting legacy.
And finally, I would like to pay a tribute to those of you who, since Year 7, have spoken your way out of every detention, distracted the teacher into talking about their kids, been sat on by Year 12s, consistently played Cool Maths games during every lesson, and have not touched a single book for English. Congratulations, you have officially passed high school.
Guys, we're at the end of an era. Although it seems like we would never get here, we are now counting the hours, the minutes, and the seconds till we graduate. From the bottom of our hearts, we wish you all the best of success for your marvelous endeavours after the HSC. We, as a generation, have so much to offer this world. We are the future. So, class of 2020, let's make the best of this ending. Let's start all over again. For all intents and purposes, it's a brave new world out there, and if anyone can embrace and hold tight onto what's awaiting us, it's us. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you. I would now like to ask Mrs. Therese Hourigan, our principal, on the stage to present her address.
We're here, thank goodness, and you look absolutely amazing. Well, this year has certainly been different, but then again, you as a year group are different. There were indicators way back in 2015 when you were only in Year 7. I remember doing the rounds, walking around, checking on the new Year 7s, and one recess I was walking up past the hall, up towards the PE change rooms, and there was a group of you around the corner whipping and nay-naying. That's a true story. Not only a very unfortunate set of lyrics that once inserted into your brain is very difficult to remove, but the exquisite dance moves that were going with it. I do recall thinking, okay, that's different. Then you grew a little older and there was another unusual school issue that occurred. Very unusual for Crestwood High School, finding students out of class and rarely off school premises who were trying to catch imaginary creatures. Pocket monsters, Pokemon. Pokemon Go craze was absolutely up and running. There were interesting conversations down the front office. Why weren't you in class period 3 today? There was a Pokemon in Crestwood Reserve I had to go and catch, miss. I see. So you didn't go to class because you were chasing imaginary creatures? Yes, miss. At the time I wasn't sure if it was a discipline or a welfare issue, but we worked through that. And then there were the scary clowns. The scary clowns, again, a different phenomenon. You were quite young and some of you possibly a little frightened to come to school, and some of your parents were a little frightened to send you. The fact that these scary clowns sighted in Balcombe Hills were actually riding scooters probably indicated that they were more of a nuisance than a danger, but they made it to the primetime news. Then late 2019 and continuing into 2020, it descended upon us. Commencing overseas, rapidly sweeping the Northern Hemisphere, it finally made its way to our shores. It was inevitable. It was the return of the mullet. Who would have thought that the once extinct hairstyle from the 1980s would have found its way to our country? Who would have thought that the mullet would star in high fashion shows of Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent in Paris? Who would have thought that against all odds, this hairstyle would come back with a vengeance? And I'm not sure during this second wave if we should be going for elimination, suppression, or maybe we just have to live with it. No wonder you have developed into a very resilient and unique group. Look at what you've survived through your tumultuous adolescent years. Certainly this year has been different, to say the least, but sometimes different is not all that bad. Sometimes different has a silver lining. Sometimes different forces us to look through a different lens. Sometimes different teaches us gratitude when we've forgotten what to be grateful for. And sometimes different is a road that we otherwise would not have travelled. Whatever this different year has brought you, the one thing that it does bring you is that you have lived it, and you have lived it together. And if you have lived it, well then that's what life is all about. Living, learning, and hopefully loving. In saying that, I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you as individuals, and all of you as a cohort. You have put one foot in front of the other despite everything going on around you. You have faithfully placed your trust in your teachers to see you to the end of your HSC year. And really, for the most part, you have not complained, you have not wavered. You have not done less and asked for more. You continued to attend school with a smile on your back, with a smile on your face and Crestwood on your back. And as principal, I could not be more proud of any year group than I am of you right now. You may have noticed that I've not mentioned the C word, nor will I, because you've been here for 6 years, and you have accomplished so much over those 6 years. You became part of the Crestwood family as an excited and possibly nervous 11 or 12-year-old, and now you are embracing your next chapter as a wonderful young adult. But you will always be part of the Crestwood family. As students of Crestwood High School, you have completed over 6,000 hours of lesson time, been involved in numerous sports, camps, musical productions, public speaking, debating, band, Relay for Life, and the list goes on and on. You have been integral in making Crestwood High School the excellent school that it is today, and on behalf of the students that come after you, I thank you. You have the qualities and values that have shaped our school for the better, and you have forged very strong relationships in doing so. It is only appropriate that on behalf of you all, I thank your parents, carers, the significant people in your life who have supported you, who care for you and love you, who probably worry about you a little too much, and who are now finding the hours with you not enough. Please be sure to find your way to say thank you to them. I would also like to thank your teachers who have given their heart and soul in their endeavour to bring out the best in you. And this year in particular, your teachers who have done so under the most extraordinary of circumstances. Many thanks to your year advisors, Mr. Matt Bennett and Mrs. Christine Lancet, and Head Teacher Welfare, Mrs. Karen Finari, who have been truly committed to your progress and well-being. And also your Deputy Principal, Mrs. Tanya Wright, who has looked after you through thick and thin since the day you've walked into the school. Many are saying that 2020 is the year to forget. But for me, 2020 will be the year to remember. Not only for all the ongoing challenges that we overcame throughout the year, but how the year brought us together and brought us closer. 2020 challenged our systems, our relationships, our mind, and our spirit. It has proven that Crestwood High School is built on strong foundations, and I don't mean those of the bricks and mortar kind. You have been instrumental in reinforcing those foundations. You have been responsible for building new foundations. You are the class of 2020, and for all of these reasons, you will never be forgotten. Congratulations, Year 12.
Thank you, Mrs. Horrigan. Next, we have a music item. Tony Han performing Flower Dance by DJ Okawari. As Tony comes up, it is worth mentioning that he is entirely self-taught and has never had a formal lesson with a piano tutor. The only tutoring he has had is with his teachers at school. Thank you. Thank you, Tony, for that outstanding musical piece. Our next presenters are Tess Pesavento and Anastasia Rapson to share memories of Year 7, 8, and 9.
Hey everyone, tonight Tess and I will be talking about some memories throughout Year 7, 8 and 9. It has been such an amazing experience growing up with all of you and experiencing the many highs and lows of our high school life.
As a grade, we have faced many challenges, especially this year, but we have all conquered each setback we have been faced with. We should all be so proud of ourselves for graduating tonight. What an achievement.
I can't believe it's been 6 years since we've been in Year 7. We all look so small and awkward, and for many, like me, still have those chubby cheeks. We all probably woke up at 6 a.m. so nervous and excited to start the first day of high school, with our uniforms too big and bags packed with a Year 7 book pack, unsure and scared of what our first year of high school would be like. Year 7 was a year where our whole grade was friends and everyone got along. Friend groups consisted of 40 people, and there was no tension across the groups at the huts. The only thing on our mind was Musically and Fetty Wap's Trap Queen. The innocence we had in Year 7 was so pure, as we were all so excited to start high school and a new chapter of our lives. I'm sure we all remembered being at the bottom of the food chain and looking at those scary Year 12s and avoiding them in the hallways, scared of what they might say to us. And now, we're those scary Year 12s. How crazy is that to think? It was normal this year to date 10 different people, and for some, this was the peak of their love lives. Year 7 was the first and last year we all did French, thank God. I don't think I've been to that classroom since. We all got to experience a wide range of different subjects that were so different to our normal primary school classes. All these new subjects were so exciting and got us all a bit more comfortable for our high school life. Year 7 was the first year of the G&T class, with accelerated courses and attitudes that they were smarter than all of us. I can't wait to see all those people get those 99 ATARs. Year 7 peer support camp was so fun and got us all out of our comfort zones, and this was a stepping stone for making our friendships. Year 7 camp was the first time we all got to bond as a grade. So much has changed since Year 7 as we have all grown into resilient, mature young people.
Year 8 could be perceived as the forgotten year. Did we really do any school events or excursions? We just discovered who we were as individuals. Year 8 was the year of going from mammoth, big social groups to smaller, closer groups of friends, finding our niche where we really belonged. Some say you find groups with like-minded people sharing similar interests. However, I'm sure we could all agree that our Year 8 groups were just as diverse as they are now. Year 8 saw the introduction of class names spelling out Crestwood, stopping short at W due to our limited grade numbers. Yet our small year group has ensured we're a close cohort. 8R represents resilience. They were the lucky class to experience 8 different science teachers throughout the year, starting with Mr. Warren, sometimes spent with Mr. Lamb, and finally securing Miss Raju in her first year at Crestwood. Year 8 was the year the Cola thrived. Basketball had hit the big time with intense, overly competitive games throughout both recess and lunch. I'd like to know what those boys, or so-called ballers, do with their time now. The year of 2016 finished with the excitement of choosing our 3 electives for Year 9 and the important discussions of which year our talented sportsmen would choose to study past.
Year 9 was a year where we all started to mature into young adults and were allowed more freedom in our education. We all started our first electives, and for many of us, these electives would spark our passion for certain subjects that we would choose in Year 11. Now, some of mine and Tessa's favourite memories were in Year 9 Food Tech, where we did our 2 favourite things, talking and eating. Year 9 camp was definitely a highlight for all of us. Whoever was in Tessa's group at camp definitely got a good laugh from her stacking it on her bike. I know all us girls did when she came back to the room with bruises and cuts all over her leg, poor thing. Year 9 disco was certainly not as memorable as Year 11, but it was still fun with everyone dressing in fluoro colours and dancing to our cringe music. Year 9 was a year where we all developed our personalities and our free thinking. In turn, our relationships with teachers extended from the classroom as we developed some close bonds which we would cherish throughout our high school life. Just ask Mr. Johnston how close we are. Most of us started getting part-time jobs in Year 9, which was a milestone in itself. With our newfound freedom and busy lives, we learnt in Year 9 how to handle those responsibilities. Thank you to all the teachers and students for shaping our high school life and the amazing memories we've made as a grade. As we open this new chapter in our lives, I'm confident we will all achieve success and look back with no regrets. I will miss you all and thank you.
Thank you, Tess and Anastasia. Could I now ask Group 1 to stand and exit the hall? Next, we have a visual montage that has been compiled by Olivia Kermi, Huria Iqbal, and Varma Dave.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
You don't respect my art. It's my cuisine. You don't respect it.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are here.
I hope you suffer. I hope you die of death.
The presentation of the Group 1 folios and awards will be read out by Miss Tanya Wright, Deputy Principal, and presented by Mrs. Therese Hourigan, Principal of Crestwood High School. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Govan for organising and distributing the Year 12 folios.
Good evening, students, parents and teachers. Before I commence with the names of the Year 12 students, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of the parents over the past 6 years for your continued support, not only of your child, but of us as a school and of me as a deputy in particular. I have always appreciated the support and enjoyed the connections that I have forged with many of the parents. I believe together that we really have achieved so much in terms of the social and academic development of your child. I know how proud I am of these students, so I can only imagine how proud you are of them as their parents. I wish all of the Crestwood families all the very best that life has to offer. Now, without further ado, I will call the names of the students. Elijah Abella. Jade Arujo. Cameron Bedford. Jaron Bell. Joshua Best. Alexandra Bounds. Daniel Bozic. Robert Bozic. Gemma Brakel. I'd also like to announce that students receiving first in one course will receive a bronze award, second in 2 or more courses a silver, and first in 3 or more courses a gold. So with that, Ellen Brannigan is receiving a bronze award for first in mathematics. Lara Cambaz. Selena Cardillo, receiving a gold award for first in design and technology, industrial technology timber, and mathematics extension 1. Kanal Chand. Manchu Chandrasagar Sama. Jake Christian. Amelia Corbett, receiving a gold award for first in English studies, sport, lifestyle and recreation, and work studies. Tiana Cornell, Hayden Cossart, Olivia Kermy, Varma Dave, Mitchell Davies, Jackson Dawkins, Jaden De Stoop, Kyle Del Rosario, Caitlin Devine receiving a Bronze Award for First in Music 1. Sarah Dixon, Drellin Dimaguila Sullivan Pillaquit, Jeremiah Domingo, Jaden Duncombe, Alexandra Eggington, Eleanor Fairhurst, Alicia Fazeli, Georgia Fitzgerald, Angus Flanagan, Daniel Flower, Ethan Glynn, Ella Gosha, Sahil Goyal, Thomas Gray, Caroline Grumley receiving a Silver Award for First in both Ancient History and Modern History. Karim Hamdi, Matthew Hamilton receiving a Bronze Award for First in English Standard. Tony Hahn, Jack Harrison, Neo Healy, Rumeth Herath, Samantha Hill, Mia Hinton, Jade Hoskins, Madeline Hughes, Bart Ignace, Ryan Ince, Huria Iqbal, Praneet Jagdev, Adib Jalilipur, Lachlan Johnson, Lachlan Kay receiving a Bronze Award for First in Software Design and Development. Damon Kench, Annabella Kerr, John Kim receiving a Bronze Award for First in English EALD. Sean Kim, and Maria Kathouris. Congratulations to all of those Year 12 students in Portfolio 1 and all the best.
Thank you, Miss Wright and Mrs. Horrigan. Our next musical item is Life is a Highway, and it is performed by Brooke and the Boys, consisting of Brooke O'Brien, Hayden Cozart, Liam Shaw, and Jade Arujo.
Travel on us one day here, the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door. Blues won't haunt you anymore. When the brave are free and love is all, come ride with me into distant shore. We won't hesitate hesitate. Break down the garden gates. There's not much time left today. Yeah. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna drive it all night long. Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. Love you now like I love you then. This is the road and these are the hands. From Mozambique, those Memphis nights, Cairo past to Vancouver's lights. Knock me down, back up again. You're in my blood, not a lonely man. There's no load I can hold. Roads are rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell West Fibers. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna drive it all night long. There was a distance between you and a misunderstanding once, but now we're looking in the eye. Oh, yeah. There's no load I can hold. Roads are up, this I know. I'll be there when the light comes in. Just tell we're survivors. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna drive it all night long. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna drive it all night long. Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I'm gonna ride it all night long.
Thank you to the band on that fantastic musical performance, aptly named for a graduation. Could I please ask Sid Prajpati and Ayush Upadhyaya to the stage to share memories of years 10, 11 and 12.
Thank you, Artie, for violating my last note. Not the first time you've done it. Ladies and gentlemen, to quote none other than Kanye West, welcome to graduation.
Today marks our last day as Mr. Groth's Heaven High School students. And I want you all to think of the unlimited power that we now possess. Yes, our socks can be any color that we desire. That being said, however, Crestwood has offered a lot of beautiful memories that will resonate within each and every one of us, like Mrs. Wooner's infectious laugh, Mrs. Quinn's warming company, Mrs. Rayner's discipline, Mr. George's friendly smile, Mr. Lloyd's sarcasm, and most importantly, the legitimate passion and dedication of our lovely principal, Mrs. Hourigan. What role models.
I mean, damn, how are we already graduating? Sid and I are here to remind you about the fun times we had in years 10, 11, and 12. I can't even remember to do my homework, let alone talk about what happened in the last 3 years. Pardon me if my bit of the speech is a bit rusty. I'm still recovering from that embarrassing finish on Tuesday at the soccer game, as I'm sure you are too, Miss Austin, after Matt Orchard's tackle.
So we'll kick things off from 3 years ago in year 10. Now to put that in perspective, kids born when we were in year 10 are now 3 years of age. This is the year that most of us turn 16, and we are finally legally able to get a learner's license, of course.
Our grade was truly one of a kind. Stefan and Angus alone were enough to banish Miss Shahada and Miss Whale, and to think that Miss Lancer was our year advisor. Not to mention, we lost others along the way too. Miss Owl, Miss Clark, and of course, Mr. Rookyard. Soon enough, year 11 came around, our first year into senior school. The big upgrade from the petty blue shirts to the elite white shirts. However, although those shirts made us feel big, we still looked like clowns for picking the subjects we did. I mean, in what state of mind did I decide, yes, in year 11 and 12, I'm going to do biology? Sorry, Miss Singh, please spare me. People started to move into their P plates as well, so the jingling sound of car keys in the morning was often a lovely sound to start the morning. It really wasn't. I hate you all with your Ps. Year 11 also marked the entry of free periods into our timetables. After so many years, Miss O'Brien went from being our biggest nightmare in the library to one of our best friends, even after all the times we forgot our ID cards.
And then year 12. 2020 really messed us up, didn't it? Remember how painful it was to get our jersey nickname process done? I mean, how in the world was Big Rig rejected? When Gladys announced that us students had to stay home instead of coming to school, we were all bummed. We all hated it. I mean, it must have been so hard for us to sleep in every single morning of the week and trek all that way from our beds to our desks at 9 a.m., watching our facial hair grow and cutting our fabulous bangs. We really had it tough, all jokes aside, courtesy of the COVID restrictions. But what matters is that we pushed through it with immense strength. Watching season after season of all those Netflix shows, Ed Waller videos, obviously, behind our switched off cameras and our muted microphones.
This year we had a lot of laughs. Our last diversity day, our last fundraiser, our last AIM lesson, our last canteen run, and our last job jump email, without which I'm sure we all must be facing unemployment. The list goes on, and in all honesty, I'm just glad I was able to spend these times with you and make good memories with each and every one of you, 1.5 meters at a time. So in conclusion, year 10, lovely. Year 11, basically a year 12 prototype. And year 12, to be honest, I don't even know how to describe it. I'll ask Miss Ragnarsson though, she'll definitely have a word for me.
I'd also like to finish by saying, if you're ever hopeless, in doubt, or in fear, I want you all to remember that you've been equipped after 6 years of Crestwood High School with the most necessary pieces of information in the world. So never forget that the mitochondria is actually the powerhouse of the cell. Thank you all for the memories we've made in these years. I feel blessed to have been able to make memories amongst all of you throughout my entire high school journey. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best in your lives ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Also, just a quick message before we leave. Ramshed 4, Mr. Lloyd would like to have a conversation with you after this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sid and Ayush, for those memories. Could I please ask Group 2 to stand and exit the hall? Next, we have the second visual montage compiled by Varma Dave, Selena Cardillo, and Ruby Mohanaraja.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go. sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
You shouldn't be sad. You should not be sad. Be happy, be motivated, and be a friendly human.
Thank you, Selena, Varma, and Ruby for that compilation. The Group 2 presentation of folios and awards will be read out by Mr. Warren Groth, Deputy Principal, and presented by Mrs. Therese Horrigan.
Thank you, Artie. I would like to make special mention of an amazing group of young people and congratulate them on their successful life journey thus far. These are the class of 2020 support unit students: Tiana, Lachlan, Rhiannon, Jaram, and Drellin. They have fought hard to overcome some great obstacles. Well done. And now to continue. Chloe Lavender. Jesse Layoon. Long Lee. Max Lee. Max is also receiving a Bronze Award for First in Economics. Jack Lai. Amanda Lee. Dane Lim. Bronte Longworth. Isabella Manzotti. Kristen Marshall. Luke Martin. Olivia Mason. Madeline McDonald, also receiving a Bronze Award for First in Photography, Video and Digital Imaging. Brendan McIntosh. Benjamin McMillan, receiving a Silver Award for First in Mathematics Extension 2 and Physics. Phoebe McTeer, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Personal Development, Health and Physical Education. Ruby Mohana Raja. Michael Morgan. Tiffany Mooring. Oh, cute. Floyd Moss. Dylan Fernandakuma. Brooke O'Brien. Sam O'Connor, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Hospitality. Rhiannon O'Hare. Connor O'Sullivan. Chloe Abluda. Madison Olenek. Jeremy Ong, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Mathematics Advanced. Matthew Orchard. Carter Overton. Thalamu Palapane. Matthew Palmer. Jessica Parker. Sneha Patel. Tess Pesavento. Tess is receiving a Bronze Award for First in Mathematics Standard 2. Stefan Petrusik. Well done, Stefan. Andrew Phelps, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Visual Arts. Declan Phillips. James Phillips. Sid Prajapati. Sanjeev Ranganathan. Anastasia Rapson. Lachlan Rao. Talia Rich. Jacob Solzman. Neve Sanday. Charlie Sargent. Caitlin Seymour. Caitlin's receiving a Gold Award for First in Business Studies, Community and Family Studies, English Advanced and Legal Studies. Liam Shaw. Nathan Singalingam. Sarah Smith. Zachary Stojanovic. Darcy Stratton. Prue Stratton. Georgia Sultana. Adi Sundaram. Ethan Swart. Alex Toulis. Taylor Traherne. Ayush Upadhyay. Aaron Voronov. Tanya Vujic, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Industrial Technology Multimedia. Nicola Webb. Nathan White. Nicholas White. Jessica Wills. Wendy Woodward, receiving a Bronze Award for First in Food Technology. Hien Zhu. Melanie Yang. Daniel Yazdani. Thank you, Year 12, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Groth and Mrs. Hurigan. I'd like to actually just iterate that Adi Sundaram received a gold award tonight in biology, for placing first in biology, chemistry, drama, English Extension 1 and English Extension 2. And it gives me great pleasure to invite our next speakers to the stage. Mrs. Christine Lancet, our year advisor from years 7 to 10, who is currently on maternity leave, and Mr. Bennett, our current advisor, to present their address to the cohort.
Good afternoon, everyone, and especially Year 12, the class of 2020, my babies who are now all grown up. I feel very fortunate to be able to address you today, having given up that right when I went on maternity leave. I've said before that my only regret in having my daughter when I did was leaving you. Turned out to be more difficult than anyone could possibly have imagined. I stand by that. There are many things I love about being a teacher, but my journey as your year advisor is what I loved most. And what a journey it was. I look at each of you now and I can still picture the little kids that you were during our pastoral care classes in Year 7, when we spent colouring for mindfulness or just being nice to each other. Those were innocent times when a genuine drama was another kid stealing your hat and a long-term relationship lasted 3 weeks. In your junior years, I watched as you found your people and began to figure out what high school you looked like. I got used to starting every one-on-one interaction with, "Don't worry, you're not in trouble," and also learned more about Snapchat than I ever hoped to know. Honestly, by midway through year 8, I would have happily gathered all your phones into a pile and set fire to them. There was a bit of that in year 9 too, but then finally something clicked. From my perspective, it was most obvious on camp, where we made so many great memories as a grade. Our talent night will go down in history as one of the best. I'll never forget Harry and Andrew's epic planking showdown, Kyle's rendition of the Chinese national anthem, Prue's rap, Daniel's dad jokes, and Jade's impression of Mr. Johnston, which is truly the stuff of legend. Then the disco, where you all showed up in your tradie neons and proceeded to either go hard, shout out to Maddie Hughes and Alex Egg, or sit in a dark corner, shout out to pretty much every male in the grade, including Jayden, who was still wearing his mirrored sunnies indoors at night. There was also that apple that for some reason everyone had to take a bite of, but perhaps the less said about that, the better. After camp and into year 10, you started to pursue your passions with a clearer sense of your own identities and less concern for the opinions of others. Many of you stepped into leadership roles in peer support or on the SRC, and I had the pleasure of going on Duke of Ed with some of you. Amongst other things, this Duke's cohort had the honour of taking our evacuation rate from 0 ever to 3 within 24 hours. I've made no secret of how proud I am of our grade's participation in the performing arts. Don't worry guys, I'm not going to ask you to stand up this time. And if I attempted to acknowledge your many and varied sporting achievements, we would be here all night. Year 11 was our last year together, but what a year. Being 6 months pregnant wasn't going to stop me going on camp with you, and I didn't regret it for a second, with the possible exception of the moment I laid eyes on all those mullets. Spending the week with you in Jindabyne really brought home to me how much you had all grown up. For the most part, I felt like I was just hanging out with friends. Something you may or may not realise is that no one actually teaches you how to be a year advisor. You just kind of put your hand up and figure it out as you go along. There are many people who helped me figure it out, but in particular I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Tanya Wright and Donna Whale, who answered my many questions, led by their own great examples and trusted my judgment. Thank you also to the members of the school's welfare team and the English faculty for your unwavering support, and to the families of Year 12 for trusting me with your problems, your stories, and your precious children. This is as much a milestone for you as it is for them, and I'm so sorry that you cannot be here today. An extra special thank you to Matt Bennett. Knowing that I was leaving my beloved year group to someone who genuinely cares about them made it that much easier. You've done a difficult job under even more difficult circumstances, and for that you should be congratulated. And finally, I would like to say thank you to you, Year 12. It has been my genuine pleasure to get to know you over the years and to help you when I could. Congratulations on coming this far. Take care of yourselves and please stay in touch. I can't wait to see the wonderful things you do with your lives. I'll now hand over to Mr. Bennett.
Good evening, everyone. What a unique period of time we have shared together. It has been an interesting journey with you all, and I'd say our journeys have somewhat been entwined. We both started at this school together, fresh and baby-faced, unsure of what Crestwood would have in store for us. Getting to know you guys at Year 7 camp, and you all watching the friendship starting to blossom, I can still see, sitting in front of me here today. It's amazing. Watching you all slowly evolve into mini adults and moving through Year 8 into Year 9, where I again had the privilege of joining you at camp as we continued to develop stronger connections through the year group and made so many long-lasting memories. I was at this point I had to leave you all for a year, but before I knew it I was back and I was presented with the opportunity to take the reins off your delightful Miss Lancet and be your year advisor. It was at this point I realised that our growth in this school has been parallel, and what a wholesome experience to be the year advisor to the group that started at the school at the same time as me. I then got to complete the hat-trick and come to Year 11 camp with you guys for our final hurrah. What a camp it was, and as Miss Lancet said, it really did just feel like we were hanging out with a bunch of mates by that point. I have many memories of that camp. However, looking at you through a new set of year advisor eyes, I started to really see the uniqueness of this group and how far we have transitioned and matured since Year 7. and it really brought on this massive admiration for you guys as a collective group. You guys have honestly redefined what it means to me to be a teacher, and I genuinely think you are all amazing, individually and collectively. I couldn't be more proud of you all for reaching the end of this journey. Whatever the outcome, you still finished. So as I stand here one last time behind this dreaded microphone, our wholesome circle is complete. We started this journey together in 2015 and concluded together in 2020. What you do after school is in your hands. Control your journey, find the things that make you happy, and continue to bring positivity into the world. And finally, please remember that success is subjective. Do not let a generalized narration dictate your definition of success. Define your own success and make your own happiness. Congratulations for finishing, guys. Well done.
Thank you, Mrs. Lancet and Mr. Bennett. You have both gone above and beyond bounds of being just our year advisors. You have both supported us as mentors and our beloved friends. Thank you both so much.
Our final presentation is the Year 12 Grand Finale performance. This production has been led by Andrew Phelps, and thanks to everyone, both students and teachers, who have contributed to this video. And an extended cut featuring more interviews and memories will be available following this event.
Before the video starts, Artie and I would like to take this final opportunity to express our pleasure in chairing tonight's proceedings and being your school captains for 2020. This year's graduation has been a wonderful evening of achievement, reflection and celebration. We wish all of you, all of our friends, the best of luck for the HSC and the future. You really have been an awesome group to share our high school lives with. Thank you for your support and have an enjoyable evening.
Thank you.
Oh, you're asking questions?
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yes. You ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Describe Year 12 in one word.
Vibrant.
Slow.
Personable.
The more I've gotten to know all of you as your year advisor, I would definitely say unique.
I would say multi-talented.
Interesting. I think they're adorable.
Persistent.
Relaxed.
Very chilled.
Challenging.
Look, it's a challenging thing to ask an English teacher to express anything in one word, but I'm going to do a shout out to my advanced class and say liminal. But also, I told you it was challenging asking an English teacher to do anything in one word, but also I think that, look, by the time this whole year is finished and what you guys have gone through, I think the word would have to be resilient.
That's more than one word.
Tonight, I'll be having a hot cheese roll and chicken crackles from the school canteen.
Ooh, nice.
Go to order at the canteen.
Oh, hot cheese roll, chicken crackles and sauce.
Hot cheese roll.
Hot cheese roll.
Hot cheese roll, chicken crackles.
Hot cheese roll, chicken crackles, barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Hot cheese roll.
Do you remember when they had Sunny Boys? Oh, that's what I'd get all the time.
So if it's recess, it's definitely a pack of sea salt chips and a sunshine punch popper. If it's lunch, it's either a cheese and bacon roll or it's a sausage roll with tomato sauce, but the availability often depends.
Coke, no sugar.
A bottle of water and a curly whirly because I'm a sweet tooth
teeth and I always forget my water bottle.
Come in and sit down. How many times have I told you you have to be prepared? You can't just walk into a lesson unprepared. Also, we've got kids all over the place. You've got equipment all over the place. You don't even order your equipment, and you've got to pack up when you're finished. How many times have I told you?
Once.
Well, once is enough. Don't do it again.
Mr. Groff, calm down. You're not you when you're angry. Better?
Better.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Okay, who's your favourite teacher?
Miss Cowan. Mr. Bennett. Miss Hennessy.
Probably Mr. Smith. Probably Bennett, you know, he's pretty chill.
Mrs. Warner. Best advice.
The entire English faculty, especially Miss Raggy.
I'd say Miss Clement.
Mrs. Hardy.
Mr. Lloyd.
I'd say Palmy.
I like Mrs. Quinn. She's good.
Mr. Chan, mate, just the goat.
I quite like Mr. Chan. Mr. Chan, he's so cute. I love him.
Miss Almas. I love it. She calls everyone cherubs.
Mrs. Benari, she's like really caring and understanding.
Probably like Mono, because she just puts up with her English class.
Stevie Dogs.
Miss Singh, if you're watching, thanks for like believing in me in bio.
Bennett, what a legend.
Yeah.
Just best math. Miss Parker.
Miss Cowan.
Miss Warno for sure.
I love Miss Warner.
Yeah, she's helped me out so much throughout high school, so yeah.
Who's your favourite student in the
I
class?
can't say that. There is not a favourite student. I have too many of them. No. Refuse to answer.
I thought rule number one of teaching was never to say who your favourite student was.
Who's your favourite student in Year 12?
I can't have a favourite because I'm your year advisor. So as I said, I've favourited the whole group. You guys are all awesome.
I was all about Alicia Fazzelli.
Maddie Mack.
Maddie O, I've had her since year 7 and watched her grow into a confident and beautiful young lady. And everyone knows that I love Floyd.
I love Georgia and Maddie. Connor always makes me laugh as well.
Cameron Bedford. He just has such a great understanding of poetry.
Who's your favourite student in Year 12?
This was difficult. Daniel Yazdani.
Tess Pesavento, because she's the only one that lasted in my physics class. Only girl, I should say.
Only girl. Oh, a dib. Definitely a dib, yeah.
I feel compelled to say Selena Cardello because of the impact I had on her with a little prank. We've made amends and she's also gotten past it.
Different rubric terms here up on the screen that you need to integrate into your reading task questions. So make sure that when you're analysing your answers in the unseen section.
Oh my God, dear!
Finally quiet.
Liam, what was your favourite camp and why?
Year 11 camp, the disco, Rams had 4. It was just a good time, honestly.
Probably the peer support camp because we got a mad disco. The Mitchell Youth Leadership Camp.
Year 11 camp, best ending, I reckon.
Year 11 camp was so fun. I got to peg snowballs in people's faces. Mr. Palmer threw a snowball in my head.
Year 11, because I climbed a mountain for the first time. And any last memory that you have at Crestwood High School that you want to share?
I reckon the musicals were pretty good.
Our market day was fun.
Spending an English lesson on top of the cupboard. Ben Page and Jeremiah Domingo's fight in Year 7.
My first science lesson, I walked in and Scott Starkey was just screaming at Miss Raju, then stood up and threw a chair at a wall.
Sport in probably like Year 8. Yeah. We had a soccer ball in the change rooms and Jaden Duncombe's decided he's going to grab the ball and smash it as hard as he can at the roof. Hits the roof, whole roof just collapses on top of him.
Definitely making everyone laugh with me.
All our class parties that we've had with our friends.
Pretending to faint at each event so you don't have to carry your bag.
Did you pretend?
Next question.
Probably Diversity Day.
Diversity Day.
Yeah, Diversity Day performance was a banger.
classes did you skip over the COVID period?
Quite a few.
All of them.
All of them.
No comment.
I slept in most of the time. I actually went to a lot of mine except Mr. Johnston's.
I attended all of them, but like, was I paying attention?
No.
That's debatable.
I think I missed like 50% of them.
I was there, but not mentally.
I skipped most of my math ones.
I attended all my classes except maths.
Like 1 or 2.
None, I don't think.
I didn't miss one. Any regrets you have over your time at Crestwood High School?
Asking out Charlie Sargent for a really obscure metaphor in Year 7.
I regret picking biology.
Agriculture?
I wish I'd studied more, honestly.
Yeah.
Done some more work, put in the effort.
I feel like I should have tried out for sport to get more days off.
I reckon I regret overstressing.
It's a hard question. Next one.
And do you have any advice for the future?
Do what makes you happy, because that was what ultimately will make you most fulfilled in life.
Always remember me.
Keep in touch with your friends. Don't lose contact with each other when you walk out the school gates.
It's okay to ask for help.
Follow your dreams, follow your heart, and don't be afraid to take on risks and challenges.
Whatever you decide to do your best.
It's a little bit hard during COVID time, but travel. Travel as far as you can, as wide as you can.
Life isn't as scary as it seems. Go out and make the best of it.
It's your race, your marathon. You've got to run it the way you want.
Get a tax file number. Make sure you save when you're young. And make sure you spend money on your physical and mental health.
Nice. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, there's many definitions of success and there's many ways to get there. So you could take the scenic route or you could take the direct route.
It's good to plan, but it's also good not to overthink things and to make sure that every day counts and every day has got something really pleasant and positive in it.
You are more than whatever numbers people try and assign to you. And you have so much time to discover who you are and what you want to be.
Yeah, no matter what happens in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, there's always other options, so don't stress.
It's okay to be afraid of stuff. You'll get through it.
Follow your dreams, don't give up, and behave.
This is a phrase that Mrs. Hennessy often uses, but it's one that really resonates with me across the school, and that is choose kind. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, be kind to your families. Choose kind in this world.
Can you say congratulations, Year 12? Can you say good luck?
Yeah.
Close enough.
One of the best finales I've seen. I know you will enjoy those memories for years to come. Thank you, students, teachers, parents, families watching at home. We hope you've enjoyed this evening as much as we have. Your child will receive a professionally developed memento of tonight's graduation for them to keep. Can I please ask Year 12 to stand and exit the hall, followed by the official party? Thank you and good night.